So I'm in the middle of a creative project at the moment, and I wanted to share some thoughts about um, I don't know, the struggle of creativity. Um, what I'm finding is that um, the more this is kind of, it parallels an idea written in a book called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And Pressfield talks about the idea of resistance. And I'm really experiencing resistance right now. And what Pressfield says basically is that the more important a creative project is for the evolution of your soul, for your growth, for your development, the more important that is, the more meaningful that is, the more likely you are to suffer from resistance. And resistance, Pressfield thinks of resistance as like procrastination, avoidance, distraction, anything to consume your mind, anything to distract you away from doing the important, meaningful, creative work that has been given you to do, that your soul is crying out to be realized and to be completed. And I mean, it's what I wanted to share in this video is that I think it's a helpful metaphor to think of the creative effort, the creative struggle as a war between angels and demons within your own heart. I know for me, a voice has been coming up which is essentially self-doubt. It's essentially a lot of self-doubting thoughts, a lot of thoughts that are leading me to view my work as unimportant, to view it as imperfect, to view it as not good enough, to view it as not ready. It's basically a narrative that continually springs up in my mind around like why I shouldn't release something, why I shouldn't put something out there, why I shouldn't share something with the world. And you know what? All those things could be true. And they may be true that my work isn't perfect, that it isn't as good as it could be compared to some abstracted ideal. Um, and and it's a very rational and logical analysis. Um, but the thing is that I feel that the creative struggle comes down to the question of whether you listen to that voice, whether you animate that voice, whether you um, feed that wolf. There's an old metaphor that I've heard which I really like, is that you've got a good wolf and a bad wolf within you, and the one that grows stronger is the one that you feed. But the fact is that if you attend to those kind of demonic thoughts that lead you to doubt and deny your creative impulses, then you don't realize your creative impulses, and it's really almost like a well, it's a tragedy. I think that if you have an idea, if you have a project, if you have something you want to work on, that you don't work on because you yield to that narrative of doubt. um, I think that's a real tragedy in our lives, and it's not just a tragedy for us as individuals, which it is, but it's also a tragedy for the broader community, because other people need to hear what you have to say, and other people need to see what you can see, and other people need to um, share in the perspective that you have, because every individual has a unique perspective, and nobody has your perspective on this earth. And it's a really valuable thing to share your perspective and to share the way you see things through art or through creative expression. And therefore I think that the angelic calling within, or the creative calling, the calling to produce something innovative and creative, is really important, really fundamental, really foundational. Like if we do not bring forth what is within, as it's written in the Gnostic Gospels, then what is within will destroy us. it will become a burden to us in a way. And I think that's what the inner devil or the inner demons want you to do. That's how I see it, at least. I see these thoughts, these self-doubting thoughts, as a psychic force, as a spirit, as a power within us, that if that gets the upper hand, will lead to creative projects being abandoned, and that's not good for anyone, not good for us personally or for the world. And on the opposite side, if you listen to the voice, if you follow the meaningful call of the angels or the muses within us, then you feel better, you feel more complete, you feel more whole, you feel attuned to meaning, and you feel that you're living your destiny. You feel like you're on the path that is uniquely your path and the path that you're meant to walk. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm in the midst of this struggle myself. So it's as from the heart as I can do, but I really think it's a helpful image or a helpful mythos to think of demons and angels within you wrestling for the destiny of your heart, the destiny of your life. They are struggling for power. The angelic impulses are giving you gifts, giving you guidance, giving you quiet nudges and perspective and ideas in a kind of direction of kind of calling you, the still quiet voice within calling you to higher expression. And then the demons, the devils, are trying to deceive you and trying to get you to forget or ignore or otherwise not attend to or work on those creative projects. And I think we should listen to the angelic call. I think that's good to do. It's important to do. And yeah, it's just a metaphor. It's just an image to offer. But I think that's how I'm interpreting this inner struggle, and I think it's really important to have that kind of lens and to see things this way, because it helps us to understand the nature of the creative struggle. More on this in a book called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Really recommend that book. He talks about these ideas in a bit more depth. But yeah, thanks for listening. Just wanted to share that.